It's moving day, folks, here at the 2025 United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships, proudly presented by Discraft here at the Toboggan course. It's a PDGA Major, and a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. As always, I'm Derek. We got PJ in the booth with me. Marshall Street has weighed this commentary. Thank you to them. Make sure to go support them like they support us. And this coverage is also brought to you by Homewood Suites by Hilton here in Brighton, Michigan. Shout out to them as well. How you feeling, PJ?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to see what we got here on moving day. We got a tie for first place by Brock and Matthew, and then we also have John and Sawyer at 5 under, just one stroke back.
Yeah, pretty tight there for the lead card. It looks like Zach was just shy of making his way to lead card from our coverage yesterday. I'm really excited to see the action. 6 down is very impressive for these amateurs. So we jump into hole 1, par 3, 516 downhill, left to right, OB all along that left side, as well as behind and to the right as well.
First up from Howell, Michigan, Brock Tennyson.
All right, first up we have Brock, which I do believe is a local to the area.
Going with the backhand turnover. Pretty specific shot on this hole.
Yeah, hugged a little too much on that.
On the tee in Grays Lake, Illinois.
Yeah, if he had gotten just a little bit farther, he might have hit the short grass and cut rolled back in bounds. But should be an easy up and down from there.
From a different perspective, we have Matthew here. Looks like he's going with the forehand.
You can get pretty aggressive or pretty safe with the forehand play. Let's see. Yeah,
It's nice and low.
yeah, it leaves it pretty far out left. That's pretty safe generally.
John Ryan the third.
It like bounced and trickled back out OB.
Yeah, I might have flipped up a little too much, just a bit, and didn't get that swing to the right at the end.
John another lefty, but we will see a little variety out of him this round. John is also no stranger to the Gatekeeper coverage. We did film him for 2 rounds at last year's Am Worlds. He did not like it, but it does stay safe, and he will have a putt.
Yeah, I mean, even if that didn't stick the landing, it was a tap-in par pretty much. Kind of the advantage of going high like that with enough speed to get there.
And Sawyer lining up beforehand as well, so we had a pretty good variety so far, I think. I like the height on this as well.
Yeah, this one's definitely got the stability to come back to the right.
Thank you.
And he's got a long look at it.
As safe as you could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt's play was definitely more aggressive. And pays for it on this hole, but you got Brock here just giving it a long bid.
Touch of ceiling there between him and the pin, so. Tickling chains. Stress-free par.
And a nice birdie for John. Yeah, I like what Sawyer did there, like getting a long look for birdie. Like, if you have a bunch of long looks for birdie on this course, you're probably playing it pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree. And it keeps your stress levels down. I mean,
Yeah, if you can just manage the course, you know, eventually you're going to throw a shot good enough that it's not a long look for birdie. Especially on the par 4s.
all right, we're off to an interesting start here as we move into our second 680 uphill par 4. A lot of times you'll see people throw something flippy as a right-hand backhand, ride that that left side, Kind of land in the middle at the foot of the hill. And you got a lot of work to keep going uphill.
Yeah, this one takes a lot of power.
No OB, but a lot of rough.
And that's a pretty good shot there for John. Maybe not quite as far as you'd want to, guarantee getting to the top of the hill. And turned over for Sawyer.
Yeah, that didn't ride that right side like I had mentioned quite enough, but he did find his way onto the edge. So, and I like this play as well, to be honest. Really, just knowing your distance and just doing a stock safe hyzer, gonna keep yourself out of the shoal. Puts himself right in a great position in the middle.
Yeah, and that's a lot of discipline there. Ooh.
And that. So, right idea, wrong disc maybe? I don't know.
I'd say
it didn't want to turn over, so maybe it just wasn't a full commitment.
I think it was an early release, and when you have an early release on like a tight anhyzer like that, it looks like it could have been a number of things, but it was just kind of, didn't quite, hold on to the disc. Maybe turned something a little early.
This is an unfortunate second throw for Matt. Not quite able to make it out of the woods. He's still got some work left.
Yeah.
John really pushing it, he honestly should have a stepper from there.
Interesting to go with the forehand uphill. In my opinion, throwing a forehand uphill like that is a little awkward, as we see a pretty decent approach there from where Matt was.
Solid there for Sawyer as well.
And for laying up, Brock got pretty far up there. He definitely has the power to birdie this hole, but was just uninterested off the tee.
Man. That would have been one hell of a shot. Ooh. Maybe some early round yips out of Matt.
Yeah, I mean, that was outside the circle.
It's airball, though.
Yeah.
And it happens to the best of us.
Certainly. But he makes a comebacker. Sawyer playing this hole, probably how a lot of people played it. Just, good enough drive, good enough approach, and makes the 20-footer.
All right, let's jump into the third, 9-15 downhill, par 4. OB right, left, early, and far. I mean, there's a lot of OB going on here. I do think that having the OB really helps with pace of play because it is jail on that right side. Looks like John is hugging that right side a little too much.
Yeah, I just didn't get the nose down enough off the drive there. Honestly, that's probably the only thing that was wrong with that shot. It probably would have held straighter for a lot longer.
If that keeps, it's starting to fade back. I was going to say, if it keeps that turn, that's looking great.
It does get down. And being over there really isn't too bad. You kind of just have a wide open hyzer to the basket. And
that's that looks like it's in danger of OB.
Yeah, once again, either this time maybe too much nose up, or not enough nose down rather, or he didn't turn it over the way he wanted. And this one looks perfect. Oh yeah, with the drops, just never in any danger.
All right, hits that tiny little slope, pushes him a little further to the center. So right hand, forehand.
And puts it pretty close. turnover. Wow.
It's a big shot.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, you know, you kind of got your pick of what you want to do here. Turnover, hyzer, straight shot. So it's cool that he chose to do the turnover. That's what he was comfortable with. Sawyer kind of leaked that out a little left, but he's got a look.
Brock throwing his third. Just circle's edge.
Ooh, just over it.
It looked like it phased through the basket almost.
Yeah. It looked like it was going to drop on time. Brock with a nice par save after the OB drive. See if John can do the same. John, by the way, quite young. He's qualified for the junior 15 and under division.
It's crazy to see how... Oh, boy.
Yeah, Matt just having a little trouble on the putting green early here.
But I was going to say, it's crazy to see how many high-level players at such young ages are competing in these majors.
Yeah.
I mean, the AM Slam winner last year.
Having a PDGA membership is one of the best ways to engage and compete with your local disc golf community. Being an active member gives you access to thousands of sanctioned events and leagues around the world. From local events to majors, there's an event out there for you. So sign up and join the over 100,000 active members today. Visit pdga.com/join to learn more, and we'll see you out on the course.
All right, back to the action. Hole 4, 580, par 4. The trees to beat. We're looking at them right now. There is quite a bit of landing zone there, so if you land anywhere in that cluster of trees, for the most part, you do have some sort of look up this hill. Steep drop off on the backside. You do not want to miss right. If you have the distance and can kind of curl just past those trees, you're going to leave yourself open just like this.
Yeah, he's got a nice open forehand approach. You know, not straight on, but I don't think anyone really ever complains about having a hyzer approach.
Brock following the vapor trails, getting a little extra distance, carrying a little more left. I think that's going to be even more open.
Yeah, that is head on to the basket. Just, you know, whatever you can throw straight into the hillside. It's a great position for Brock.
Matt was just short of that tree. Everyone has been out driving, but it does look like it maybe flared there at the end a little extra.
Yeah, he gets to behind all those trees, so he has to hit a gap. But, you know, that's sort of just taking the difficulty off the first drive and adding a little bit of difficulty to the second. John just doesn't get this on the anhyzer that he wanted. He's kind of forced into that aggressive play off the tee with the lefty backhand and the righty forehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not able to make it out.
Yeah, if he's able to put that to the bottom of the hill, you know, it's no harm, no foul. Whoa.
Little tree direct takes a lot of juice out of it, so it doesn't quite make it up the hill, but it kind of hit a second tree, it looked like, and maybe put it back on track.
Yeah.
Early hit and then rolled to the edge. That's a weird angle.
Yeah, Sawyer just not quite getting those circle one looks. Brock.
he's making light work so far. With only one blemish, he's trying to crawl his way back up to getting even.
Yeah, and really he was just a few feet from rolling back in bounds on hole one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably giving that a half bid, like, oops, you know, if I throw it too hard, it might go in, sort of.
Yeah, a little scared of the drop off behind.
Yeah. Looks like John's running this.
Nice, cashed. Great par save. Let's go ahead and give it a rewind.
Oh yeah, just
Starts
perfect.
running it down. Starting to maybe develop himself his own version of Raptor legs, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he's giving these long bids, really good
It's
attempts.
got a really aggressive putting style.
Yeah, and that one, it wasn't like he putted it too hard. Like if he missed the basket, he was sticking, it seemed.
Yeah, good thing for the uphill. But now we go downhill again. For 480 feet, it's a par 3. Really tight corridor with some trees to miss near the end. The miss, I would say, is probably to leak a little bit more to the right. Little open space there with not a lot between you and the basket. This left side, though, gets a little tougher. That is a fortunate reaction based off what could have been.
Yeah, kick to the left there spells instant bogey. And Sawyer, once again, leaving himself in circle 2 land, but a nice fairway hit. Matt not happy with that.
No, it was his sunglasses fell off and he couldn't catch them.
Oh.
That's
And then he gets a kick straight to the basket.
yeah. He even had made a comment about how he's having a hard time catching his glasses, kind of like Matty O does. So.
Oh, a big skip at the end. Yeah, that might be a little awkward for John over there.
He's a little short.
Yeah, kind of a safe approach there. There is OB behind the basket here, so you don't really, if you have to throw an approach, you really don't want to go long. Oh, just low. It's going to be another bogey for Brock.
I must have jinxed him on the last hole.
And that is a fortunate birdie for Matt. Although he would have had a look even without the nice kick. Five pars in a row for Sawyer.
Not bad. All right, here on the 6th, 519, par 4, slightly uphill off the tee, dogleg to the right. Little variation in grade on the fairway as you approach the green, big valley just before it. And pretty heavy slopes on most sides surrounding the basket.
Very much a placement golf hole. See if Matt can place it in the fairway. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say the good side, I think, as well. Kind of leaves room for like a forehand approach up to the green.
Certainly.
It's a little shorter and a little too close. Like, didn't quite make that full turn.
Yeah, it looks like he might have hit something, or I don't know.
It's
That
hard to tell.
Yeah, it looked like it came up shorter than it should have.
Well, the reaction of this one is pretty great as well. That should be pretty open for John.
Yeah, kind of rolled to the left there. If that had stayed where it was.
And this is a madman play. Going roller, getting to the valley.
Yeah, on the side of the hill. Should be a very easy approach.
Boy, put a little too much stank on that one, turned it over, and is actually pretty close to hole 5's tee area.
Yeah, it doesn't hit anything, for better or worse.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh.
A little undercommitted from John.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of a early release there. Maybe had it lined up a little wrong.
Yeah, this is pretty textbook. What a great approach.
Yeah, great drive, great approach. That's how you want to play the hole. Oh,
Sneaks through. That was a small gap.
yeah, that was a great shot from John there. He's got a nice forehand.
I think Brock is showing that he's got a lot of control in terms of those like stand and deliver, like touchy approaches.
Yeah.
Kind of just dropping them on the dime. Wow.
Yeah, 2 birdies on this hole is...
A roller birdie nonetheless.
Yeah.
That was very sick.
Nice, Matt. Clocking in now, 2 birdies in a row, back to even. Cards kind of come alive here.
All right, hole 7, 667, par 4. Going to be an elevated tee area, and then you're kind of throwing into that hillside. Then you have to maneuver through a smaller corridor. Green is on the mound. Potential roll away. If I remember correctly, I don't think that there's much OB to deal with early.
Ooh. But that is going to be,
There's plenty of trees to deal with.
yeah, in the rough. He'll have some stuff to deal with.
Little air bounce pushing it further to the right.
Yeah,
I think that's stuck on the edge.
a little turn there. If you hit those trees and kick out to the left, that's actually not a bad play. But it does take a lot of power to get all the way up there, hit those trees in the air. Ooh, maybe
Pulled
a little
that one
turn
a
over.
little, yeah.
Oh, but it
Worked out fine.
Yeah, fades out. Just a little short, a little more power than he'll want to have, want to be using on his approach. Oh, just squares that tree.
It sat too, though, so that's good.
Yeah, a lot of power to get all the way up there here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. What a shot.
Yeah, puts it inside the circle from,
Pin high.
yeah, all the way back there.
Ooh, that was a little low. Hit something, stopped up early, it looks like. Shout out to all the spotters as well. They were really doing a good job of kind of marking where they saw it go into the woods. And oh, nice tree, direct.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to everybody involved in helping make this event run. We had really good pace of play on round 2. Course flowed pretty well.
That one also leaking a little long left, but about 20-something feet, 23 feet maybe.
Oh, man. Just caught edge and pushed. Dang. You hate to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to do a roller, an Anheuser, an overhand. Oh!
Cash. Money. Preheating the oven with that one. Let's rewind it back. Take another look. Bang.
Nice. Just over.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
Had, no other option but to go in.
Yeah, tough lie here.
Had to go like a...
Alley-oop, maybe like a scuba or something.
Yeah. Oh, off the top.
Overcommitted there from John.
Yeah, he was putting quite uphill there. Tough to get the height right. Oh, no. And that one was just a...
Slight case of the yips here from Matt, I think.
Yeah. It's been tough for him on the putting green so far.
We know he has the skills to pay the bills. I mean, getting the hot round, tying the hot round for round 1.
Yeah, he's been throwing the disc really nicely. First bogey for Sawyer. And that with the double.
All right, hole 8, 500 feet, par 4. Really tight gap to get out from the tee. You're going to land right about where the drone is now. And the next shot is a left to right, kind of slightly uphill. We have a lot of hanging branches in the way, so it's really easy to maybe not get the right angle. Oh, as we see Brock, early release. does fight through it, so that is a better scenario than it could have been. And look what we see here. John with the righty backhand. So that's some of that variety I was telling you about earlier. The kid's kind of a Swiss Army knife for disc golf throws.
Yeah, I was waiting there at the catch cam position expecting some big, righty forehand or like lefty backhand turnover, and then it just kind of, safe little righty backhand out the gap.
Just with everybody else. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
This was Brock.
All right. Really good recovery.
Yeah, he gets all the way to mid C2 and going at the righty forehand for the super uphill shot again. Really would have expected the lefty backhand, for some high hyzer, but, he gets a move on it.
Oh, I don't think that had enough turn and just dropped like a stone out of the sky.
Yeah, another one of those, strange releases for the big Anheuser. And then another one of those cut roller shots for Sawyer. It seems to be their mistakes right now. Oh.
He's got himself a little den in there.
Yeah. Looks like he has a gap. Oh.
Clip that branch a little, maybe?
Yeah. It worked out great. Yeah, Matt definitely has the power and the directness on his putt. That was a decent run from back there. John getting a little frustrated.
From not really that big of a deal. I mean...
Yeah, he's probably more frustrated with his approach than the putt. Sawyer with a nice par save.
All right, as we round out our front nine here on hole 9, the par 3, 472 feet downhill. Really just 2 trees to beat. You do see a lot of people kind of leaking a little early, kind of getting in that rough there on the right-hand side. Not really too much more to say about this hole. Very lofty drive here with a lot of juice on it at the end.
Yeah, just a little too high, so it ends up fading out. But really not too bad. Gotta look.
More direct approach here.
Yeah, good lefty backhand hole.
Oh.
Maybe just... it was low and right at the basket, so maybe just a little too overstable of a disc. Maybe too much hyzer out of the hand. There's Sawyer again. Circle 2. Looking at the basket.
He got it this time. And look at this shot.
Oh, it's perfect.
Money. Just outside the bullseye. Love to see that.
Yeah, he's able to get the nose down and hit the line perfect. All right. Just a little short out of John's attempt there. And Brock had no interest in...
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, throwing from a knee. Now with the nice birdie. Round out his front 9. Looks like a couple of pars to finish up. We've got Brock at 1 under through the front, leading the pack here.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. A lot of variation here. Sawyer with only 1 blemish so far. John with only 1 as well, and the birdie to even it out. As we take a look here at some of the rest of the field.
Got some hot rounds from Adam and James there. They're doing well. Caught up to Brock.
And again, special shout out to Homewood Suites by Hilton here in Brighton, Michigan. If you're in the area, either coming to Toboggan or anything else for that matter, make sure to check them out. Very comfortable stay. And thank you to all of our Patreon supporters as well. If you would be interested in seeing your name up on screen like this, hit us up at patreon.com/gatekeepermedia, and we'll see you on the back nine.